Section 6. Closing a project. This is the final module of the course. Finally, it's time to close out the project. This is where you will wrap up any remaining tasks, conduct a final review to ensure everything was completed correctly, and archive all project documents. Depending on your organization, you may also need to write a report on the project, including lessons learned and any areas of improvement for future projects. After everything has been finalized and the project is officially complete, make sure to thank everyone involved for their hard work. Closing a project is often the most overlooked and underappreciated stage in the project management process. This stage involves reviewing the entire project to ensure that all deliverables have been completed and all stakeholders have been adequately informed. It also includes assessing the success or failure of the project and developing recommendations for future projects. A well-executed closeout process will allow for learning from the project and identifying areas for improvement for future projects. Scope validation. Validation of the scope is an inspection-driven activity by the customer to ensure that a project has been delivered against the scope. This can be done in the form of measuring, examining, testing, reviews, walkthroughs, or audits. Scope acceptance. Tiered deliverables. Deliverables are broken down from high-level requirements down to lower-level requirements, and these lower-level requirements make up the high-level requirement. This granular list can be used to validate that the high-level requirement has been met. Acceptance of the work allows the project to move forward. Sign-offs on work to close the project. There needs to be a formal sign-off by the customer to agree that they have validated that the project has delivered against the scope. Risks in customer delaying the inspection. There are, however, risks around the customer delaying the inspection process. For example, if it was in an IT environment, there may be a new patch for a vulnerability that's been released, which makes the version of your application out of date, and this is flagged. This could be the reason that your customer does not sign off. Operational transfer plan. How to move the deliverables into production. Will this be deployed out of hours, for example, when the service is not being used? Overlap and support issues. Projects typically have a period of time after go-live to remediate any teething issues. This is called early life support. Training and hiring to support the solution. In the operational transfer plan, the customer must know what resources are required to support the solution going forward. Warranties and services. Service level agreements. Warranties. There are likely going to be warranties for key items such as hardware. So if there's a hardware issue 6 months down the line, post go live, then the hardware must be replaced. Who will support the solution? Once it's been agreed that the project is delivered, it moves from project team through to the operations team to manage the solution going forward. Administrative closure. From an admin perspective, the final project report needs to be pulled together to determine the performance of the project. Releasing the project team. The project team are now released back to the business if they are internal resource, or contracts are now concluding if they are external. Procurement audits. Identify success and failure. This is an assessment of how your suppliers performed. Your procurement team will appreciate this information when considering suppliers for future projects. Procurement negotiations. Final equitable settlement of all outstanding issues, invoices expected and claims, disputes, alternative dispute resolution. This is essentially ensuring that all things procurement are closed down prior to the project being formally closed. Lessons learned. This is an important exercise to capture what went well and what didn't throughout the project. The Lessons Learned workshop will be held with the project team and other key stakeholders to capture all of this information using feedback. This feedback is all collated, captured into a report, and will be used in the future to help make improvements on future projects. Finally, all project documentation is stored in a repository so it can be maintained as a reference point in the future and for audit purposes. Congratulations! You've reached the end of the course, and I trust you found this project management masterclass beneficial. I've provided a suite of documents that were mentioned throughout the course. A lot of these documents are actual templates that you can use on your next project. Get familiar with the documentation and refer back to the course content. I've also included a glossary document containing the definitions of the most commonly used project management terms that you'll come across. And finally, I encourage you to ask me questions in the community section. If there's anything you are unsure of or need advice going forward, it could perhaps be your CV or resume, or perhaps job applications, interviews, please post a question and I'll get back to you. I wish you the best of success in your career.